normally what is the case is man meets woman. Man is a roid head and trains a lot, and woman finds him very attractive because he's got this muscular physique and he's really strong, and that's really nice. And then woman wants to get into training, and then man says to woman, you know what would be really good if you took drugs? You'd look even better. You'd probably win some competitions. So man says to woman, well, woman says to man, well, what should I take? Man says to woman, you should take exactly what I'm taking, which is dianabol and testosterone, and yeah, it's going to be great. And then woman grows a beard and her voice deepens and she starts getting a receding hairline and a nice shiny forehead. And then man says, whoa, didn't intend for this to happen. What's going on? But the vascularization that occurs when you take in drugs that increase your male hormones, should we say. There's a lot more to it, but the effects that a woman will have versus a man are the same, but because the female doesn't have high levels of testosterone, and naturally the effects are much more dramatic than they are for a man who's got naturally much higher testosterone. So the changes are more masculine, they work in his favour more. So Paul really helped with that. He helped me do a little bit of background research, and he was like, I don't want you to do it because I'm scared that you're not going to like it, or it'll affect your health negatively. And I'm like, well, let's just see. I'll take a small amount and we'll do it for a number of weeks, like it suggests on the internet. Do it for a set period of time, and monitor the side effects. And if the side effects start becoming too severe, stop. And we know, well, okay, it's not for me, is it? Because what I didn't want was a beard or an even deeper voice than I naturally have anyway, because I started smoking when I was 12 years old, so it dropped right back. It worked for me. It worked really well. Steroid of choice was Anavar. I never felt the need to go any stronger than that. That's recommended for female bodybuilders, mostly because it doesn't have as potent an aromatizing side effect, which is the hair growth, the voice deepening, and other side effects. So I just sticked with minimal effective dosage.
So you've come to retire, and did you stop all of the substances as well, just because you want to go away from the sport? And did that affect anything?
There seemed to be no purpose to have steroids in my life anymore because I wasn't a competitive athlete. And in my opinion, one should only ever dabble in such substances when they feel like they are at the highest level of the sport, and that substance has to be allowed in the sport that they're involved in. You know, in strongman, it's not drug tested, so essentially anything goes, you know? So there was no place for it. I'd achieved what I'd set out to achieve. I came off my cycle and I didn't take it again. I've taken it since because I've come back to the sport and dipped my toes in and out and stuff, but it's been about a third of the dosage that I took back then, because it does have this, your body kind of gets used to the dosage. So you adapt to what you've been taking, so you need to increase it slightly so that you can continue this positive trajectory from taking the drugs. So I stopped in the summer of 2017 and had a really bad time, I'll be very honest about it. I can honestly say I've never had any mental health struggles in my life apart from maybe around the teen years, when your hormones are doing really weird things and, you're very, very obsessed with yourself and so upset that you're not a supermodel or, doing great things and looking amazing like your friends do. But this was something else. I can say that this was probably like the closest I've been to a depressed mindset. I was not well upstairs. I think because of a lot of things, I broke up with Paul in the May of that year, I had ended the career that for the 4 years that I was active in it had shaped my identity, and I think I clung far too much to that identity as Jenny Todd, the under 82 champion.
It gave you a purpose, didn't it, Jenny?
It really did. It really did. And because of the big drop in a nice hormone, it's nice to have high levels of testosterone, I must say. You feel really fucking good about yourself. And that dropped off because I probably didn't deal with it like I should have done. I should have gone on a post-cycle therapy just so that it kind of made things a little bit more comfortable, and the estrogen kind of climbed back up and started being normal again. It all just clashed, and I couldn't really cope with life for a little bit. I just kind of withdrew, and I'm quite a withdrawn person anyway. I'm very introvert, quite antisocial at the best of times, very awkward. But I just closed down, closed the doors. I stopped like leaving the house unless I had to go to work. It was shit. It was really shit.
So how did you come out of it? What was the journey for that?
I guess ultimately I got over myself and I realised, well, you took the wrong fucking approach to coming off drugs. You shouldn't have done it like that. You should have been a bit more careful and methodical in carefully bringing down the substances. You should have spoken to somebody. You know, you broke up with an 11-year relationship that ended, and now you've got to deal with being on your own for the first time in your life. That was the first time I had ever had to live on my own. I'd always had my mum around or Paul, and I was on my own, and that was really scary. And then the identity thing, I think, was the biggest factor in there. You know, I'd found, because of Strongman, it'd given me so much power to be myself and to be confident in myself, and just like it shaped me into the adult that I am now, and I'm so grateful for that. But it was just a mode of transportation. It wasn't the destination. So I should really have seen it like that, but you don't at the time, do you?